Hi Bruce, how are you?
I'm good, Cassie. You?
I'm doing well. Where were you last week?
Maryland, northern Maryland.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
We have a question here from someone in Columbus, Ohio. How can you plan a project if you don't know who needs to be in the room? An objective is such a powerful tool. Shouldn't the right people be there?
Well, you're right in that an objective is very powerful, and I want the team to have unanimous agreement on that objective. And I put people through a workshop to make sure that they get that unanimous agreement. So you want to have the right people crafting it and the right people living with that objective. But projects don't start in a vacuum. Projects go through a life cycle where there's some kind of people thinking about it, maybe creating a business case, some agreements about it, then adding some more people, then coming up with a charter. And during the charter, there's usually some kind of a creation of the scope of the project and the people required to be the full project team.
Okay.
Usually during the charter, we identify who the project manager is and who the full team is, though the people creating the charter wouldn't be that full team. But then when we get into the planning phase of the project, that's when we have the full team present. That was identified during the charter. Now, not to say that during the planning we don't find something else and realize, oh, gee, we should have had this manufacturing person on this team. And that's okay. We're going to continue dealing with it. But we should have at least 80% of the project team there during the creation of the objective. And I do want to get unanimous agreement of the objective at that point.
Right.
So now you've got this 20% of the people who weren't there during the creation of the objective. What I don't recommend is to recraft the objective once you've got the full team there.
Okay.
Because it's too much work and there's a lot of compromises that took place. That's just too bad that they missed that. So what we'll typically do is when we introduce that missing team member at that point, we'll say, hey Joe, congratulations, welcome to the team. Sorry you weren't here during the project planning session. We're going to need your input on this later stuff, but let me explain what the project is. You give them the vision, the background of the project, and then you say, and this was the objective. We really worked hard. All 8 of us in this room, we wordsmithed and crafted. We finally came up with the objective we can all live with. You can live with this, right? We're putting a lot of peer pressure on him not to change our objective.
Right.
And rarely does anybody ever object at that point. But then we'll get his input later on when we go through the rest of the stages. In fact, that's a good question to ask next week about how do we introduce a team member who wasn't there during the planning. Let's talk about that then.
All right, sounds great. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. For additional information or to sign up for a class, please click on the link.